What's up, duelists? Last weekend was fucking lit. It was the rise of Edison. Pretty big tournament. Pretty big tournament. I'm joined by James. What's up, James?
What's up, Keegan? How's it going?
It's going, you know what, James? It's going good. And you know why it's going good? Because we predicted something. And you know what? It came true. And that always feels good. James, why don't you tell the people what happened this weekend?
Pete Stradamus, James Stradamus. Yes. Yes, this weekend at Rise of Edison, a 90-person tournament that we held. So we were right. If you watched our last video about Lightsworn doing really well, as it turns out, Lightsworn won this tournament. And not only that, but Hugart is the guy's name. He is actually the brother of our last champion of Edison Legends, Topher. And yeah, it's really crazy to me that they're back to back brotherly championships and the fact that we were right about the place one thing. So it's a really, I don't know what you want to say, coincidental, impressive finish for a number of reasons.
Fantastical for sure. We had a good number of other people in top eight who were, repeat offenders, like you said.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, we had I'll just go down the list of top eight real quick and the decks they played. But we had Matt K in second with Vayu Turbo deck, and third place was Silchus Ruin with his Absolute Zero deck that he did really well with last tournament. He got second and then third here, so definitely a really strong, consistent performances. Fourth was Shonuff, aka Bruce, who was playing Blackwing. Fifth was Logan Ho playing Lightsworn, and his fifth, sixth was Spice playing Frog Monarch, and seventh was Geist D, and eighth was Taz playing Blackwing, and Geist was playing Gladiator Beast. Whoops. But Geist and Spice, yeah, both did really well in the last tournament as well. So a lot of repeat offenders.
yeah, awesome stuff. The players who really know their stuff seem to do well. Some of the decks, we've got the pie chart pulled up here. I don't know. You can see the pie chart, James. The people can see the pie chart. Some of the decks that did well, or not did well, but people really favored entering this weekend were Lightsworn and Gladiator Beast. I mean, last time in Edison Legends, Blackwing was a pretty clear, you know, player choice going into the tournament, but it's fallen a little bit out of favor. Same amount of Blackwing entered as Lightsworn this time when Lightsworn was virtually non existent in the last tournament. And even more Gladiator Beast than usual. What do you think about
Dragon
this?
also went down a little bit. That's another observation now. Dragon went down a little bit.
Yes, yes.
Um, but yeah, I mean the fact that we were kind of saying I don't have the exact number for the last tournament, but I'm sure there were a few Lightsworn, but it really kind of came out of nowhere to have these kind of numbers and win the tournament. But it can't really say it's unexpected because even if you didn't watch our videos, like, comment, subscribe, then you would still know that Lightsworn's a powerful deck, and people just picked it up and ran with it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's really impressive when a deck kind of isn't really like on everybody's radar or whatever, and then all of a sudden everybody like kind of hive mind like thinks of it, and then not only that, but it just does really well at the same time. So it's like it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool
Yeah,
to
it's
see that
really
happen.
interesting to watch.
And I think that this is like one of the best tournaments where, or not tournaments, but formats where that sort of thing could happen. Like one week, Lightsworn could just be the deck. And then next week, you see all these other decks over here. Any one of these could honestly be the deck next week and just take over a tournament. And that's why Edison is, it's dope, you know? It's like you play what you want and you play consistently and you play well and you do well, right? We had four repeat top eight players or top 16 players this weekend playing decks that they're very familiar with, and they were all playing four different decks, and they all did very well. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Anything left you
totally. It's
wanna?
it's really awesome. It's really awesome. Just to shout out some of these other decks, like saw a little bit of fairy. Some of these like one of decks that you can't see. Uri is labeled, but I know there's also was a frog deck in there, a number of stun different variants. But those were only played by like one or two people in the event. Gravekeeper Vern we also saw, which was a pretty cool thing. And yeah, I mean, Keegan, do you have any super memorable moment of the event for you?
There were a few games that were really excellent. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna showcase some of the final matches here on the channel in the next few days, but there was one moment where MW and Hydro Pump won with 0 cards in deck, and I thought that that was just like spectacular to see on camera. Very, very hype moment. What about you, James?
I believe it was the same match, or at least Hydro Pump again, but the triple honest, which maybe we'll just have to make a whole video dedicated reacting to our own reactions about this. But yeah, it was a drawn honest, and then drew another honest, and Avarice back, and drew the third honest.
It was
Technically,
that, and
that was really crazy.
it was like the only sequence that would win him the game too, which was
Yes,
absolutely insane. That was
100%.
Logan Ho versus MW and Hydro Pump. Hopefully, we'll have to we'll be able to get that clip
Really crazy.
somewhere on the channel in the next few days. Also, another thing that I thought was really cool is the Vayu deck getting second place. Your Vayu deck,
Yes,
basically. Your list.
glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Well, it actually was the list we played on the channel, which I thought was really funny. Like, he didn't message me for a list. He didn't look at the old lists that were on Format Library. I think he took it directly from the video, which is cool. And speaking to Matt a little bit, he basically was like, "Yeah, like your videos helped me kind of get back in the game and got me interested in the tournaments." And I thought that was really awesome. For me, it's without getting too deep, it's just a nice kind of like I've worked on that deck for a long time, and almost you could say since 2010. And to see, I kind of built it. It's like it fits me like a glove. You know what I mean? So I kind of doubt that it'll work well for other people sometimes. But seeing him play it and play it really well was just cool to watch for me.
Yeah, an absolute treat. One last thing I wanted to say before we, sign off for you guys and uh let you guys get back to, your Edison filled daily lives. I want to shout out all the people who contributed to this tournament and made it
Definitely.
possible, basically. So, first off, Gibbonation, thank you for your donation. For those of you who don't know, Gibbonation runs Lunar Game Studio, so go ahead and check out his stuff. He contributed to the prize pool. Dale Bolito contributed to the prize pool. S Pop, Roundnook, Randage, Nesh, Silchus Ruin, Taz, and of course, me and James contributed to the prize pool. So shout out to all you guys. Thank you so much for contributing and making this event come together and making it happen. And of course, last but definitely not least, shout out to Jazz for all of your work over at Format Library and letting us use your Discord and your bots and stuff to organize these types of things.
Totally. Thank you so much, and Keegan, to you for streaming. We did a great job on that. I also just want to say that was really awesome that even a few of the people that won prizes were just like just put it back in the pool for the next tournament. So really, that's exactly what we want. We just want to keep the community growing, and hopefully this next one can be even bigger and better.
Absolutely. Hope to see you guys there. Peace out.